This video was recorded right after the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 15 Part 2 reunion. As you can see, for those of you who's been rocking with me, I've been off YouTube for a few days, so I'm behind. So just in case you're like, girl, this is old news. Well, it's new for me because I recorded it. I'm just now getting around to start posting my videos on YouTube. So thank you all for the love and support. Better late than never. And for my day ones, you already know what I always say. I do not throw away my work. If I recorded it, invested time in it, you will get it. So thank you all for watching, supporting, and leaving comments and subscribing. And lastly, before we get into the intro, there are some parts of the video where I go from talking like this, very soft-spoken, calm, and all of that, and then the volume increases where it sounds like I'm upset and I'm screaming. I'm not. It's just reality TV. It would never be that deep for me to come on here and do all of that. Yes, I am passionate at times, but it will never be that deep. I do that sometimes when I realize, oh, those people who always say I'm too soft-spoken, they can't hear me, or I sound muffled, or I sound like I'm under the water, even though I am using the mic and I am doing everything correctly on my end. Raise your voice for those people. So just in case those moments happen, I don't want you to be like, what happened? She just went from being all calm and soft-spoken to now this high-pitched voice. In and out of the video, I will remember, oh, there are people who say sometimes they can't hear me. So raise your voice a little bit. Don't get it twisted now. Raising your voice and being upset because someone did something wrong and you're defending the truth, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So don't misinterpret what I'm saying. So let's get into it.
She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Fina love? Sisters Fina D coming to you all from Fina Tima News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
So for those of you who did not watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta or the Season 15 reunion, there was a moment where they were talking to Sanya about her miscarriage and being pregnant again and all of that. And that moment was very powerful. However, she made a choice to mess up and ruin that moment by making it negative and blaming Kenya more and coming for Kenya more. And social media wasn't here for her. So that's the part of the reunion we're talking about today. Let's get into it. To be everything that a real housewife is supposed to be. You have a husband, you have a kid about to have children, you have your family support, you are accomplished, you have an amazing career, you have gold medals, and the list goes on, but yet you have made a choice to be on this show with a peach behaving like a friend of to an ex-con only because Kenya called her that, okay? Hey, Milo, regardless of 150 mug shots, since she's been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, she's managed to stay out of trouble, legal trouble. Whatever it is she's doing, allegedly, legally, she's managed to stay out of trouble. So I'm not bringing her a pass, but hey, they throw fun shit at each other all the time. But I would never understand, you were given this platform and this opportunity, and you're running around here looking like a friend of the show to miserable Milo because you have decided to dim your own light. Speaking of dimming her light and not knowing when to say when and just being on the wrong side of everything. You went through something traumatic, devastating, by yourself. Your husband once again missing, okay? Talk about that next. That was your moment to stay focused. That was your moment to use your platform. That was the moment to focus on other women who can relate to your situation. But this is what happened when you mess with the wrong people and you're on the wrong side of things. In that moment, she allowed her moment to be overshadowed by talking about, yeah, that happened to me, but Kenya, I was disappointed. Even after Kenya said, I contacted you. Why wouldn't I contact you? I did. But what's so disgusting in that moment is Sanya knew Kenya contacted her. She knew, but she is so desperate to have a storyline in a moment with Kenya. And it's so sad because the actual villains are the ones who get away with it. Imagine you and someone having conversations about having more children, saying that the both of you should get pregnant around the same time. Remove the S and add a T. Remember Tanya that was going through IVF issues, and off screen Kenya was there for her, encouraging her, letting her know, you know what, I went through IVF, that's how I had Brooklyn, sharing notes, being there for her, a real sisterhood. If you know, you know. And then the moment the producers scream action, Tanya flipped on Kenya and lied on her, saying that Kenya laughed at her in those moments. No one believed her because he's trying to tell us that the woman who went through IVF herself, the woman who almost died giving birth to her daughter, the woman who's an ambassador for Baby Quest, you're telling us that she sat around and laughed at you for going through IVF and having issues. It was like, Tanya, girl, really? We understand that you're cool with Portia and Nene and them, but you don't have to stoop that low. Baby Quest is an organization that helps couples financially that need help paying for IVF and, you know, anything that you're going through as far as it being difficult to have a child. They step in and they help. And Kenya donated. She also raised awareness for it and all of that. And at one point, she was the ambassador for Baby Quest. So it's just like people come on this show and lose all of their integrity and start to do some messed up things. Like, I understand fun shade here and there, okay, whatever. But to stoop that low is like, girl, bye. Back to Sanya. And it felt like almost in the moment type of situation. You know what? Oh, this is where I'm going to bury Kenya. In this moment where something so terrible and tragic happened to me, I'm going to say out of all of these women, she never reached out to me. I'm going to prove to America how wicked and evil she is. And she got laughed at because that's not even Kenya. Kenya is the one that would stand up and give you a hug in the midst of your drama, even though you just told her that if her ex physically assaulted her, she deserved it because she provoked people. Okay? It's Sheree. I'm talking about when she's not even here for you, because we will be here all day if I talk about how nice she is when she's here for you. It speaks volumes when someone doesn't rock with you, but they're able to put their differences aside and stand up for you. And in that moment with Sheree, that's what she did. Then this moment as well, she had her issues with Nene Leakes, but the moment Nene Leakes broke down and started crying, she stood up with everybody else. She had to encourage Candy to stand up before Candy eventually stood up. She turned to Candy and Claudia. And then Candy said, wait a minute, y'all are some fake ... Okay, she was cursing, can't say it. She said, y'all were just here going at each other, and now we're supposed to fake and be a sister who is sing kumbaya. That's what Candy said. But Kenya in that moment, okay, yes, Nene and I just had our back and forth, but right now she's, breaking down, and I'm going to stand up and be there for her. So my point is, she is the type of woman that regardless of whatever issues you're having, you explain, or she hears something that devastating happen to you, she is reaching out because that's who she is. Another example, when Kenya fell, what did the real mean girl who's projecting and calling Kenya a mean girl, but now she's being dragged all over social media for being a mean girl based on what she's doing as it relates to Drew and her soon-to-be ex-husband issues? Exactly. What did she say? Oh, you know what? She was mean to me. She didn't want me to touch her, whatever, but, I'm sorry she fell. No, her instant reaction was karma. That's what people like that do. But that's not how Kenya roll or move around. Kenya and Drew are cool. However, every chance Drew got when she was up, Portia Williams, you know what? She used to throw shade at Kenya marriage, and the list goes on and on. This was and is Kenya's perfect moment to be like, you know what? I'm sorry that Drew is going through that, but that's her karma because Drew used to drag my marriage, and then hopefully the producers we're going to play the flashback just so Kenya and Drew could have a problem. But my point is, that's not how she moved. Instead of throwing shade, she defended Drew, regardless if the situation is real or fake, storyline, all of that. I'm just saying she sat there and she spoke up for Drew. Even before the reunion, she spoke up for Drew. You know what? I went through my own issues so I can see what you're going through. She stood up for her compared to other people who just sat there and didn't say anything. Kenya, had she just sat there and said, you know what, it's not my business, it would have been justified because Drew used to throw shade at her. But that's not how she moved. On this same show, while she was being disrespected, other people gave her soon-to-be ex-husband a high five and laughed at Kenya. Kenya's one of those people that will actually have your back, whether she's here for you or not, if she noticed that something wrong is going on and you are being treated poorly. So Sanya, no, we do not believe your lies, because if there's anyone that will run by your side and put her differences aside, it's Kenya Moore. And then the nerve of this user to say Kenya does things that's beneficial to her on camera. And Kenya had to check her. Like, girl, I didn't have to do a charity event. I'm Kenya the moment more, okay? I don't need you to be here. I've been here. You need me if anything. I don't need you. And I could have told you no and asked you to go ahead and ask Miserable Milo and Sheree and the other people to host your event. But every time you want to be a user, you called Kenny and you called me, because their followers matters. Their social media presence matters. Their presence on the show matters. And when it comes to being intelligent and articulating yourself, who are you going to call? Of course, you're going to call Kenya Moore. But instead of Miss Flip Flopper saying thank you and leaving it at that, she thought it was a great idea to flip it and make it look like Kenya did it for attention. Until Kenya called her out. And then some of the ladies on the stage were like, but Kenya came and did the event for you and you raised money. Like, what are you doing right now? And then she caught herself when she realized that no one had her back and everyone's looking at her crazy. You know what? And that's true. And I'm glad she came through and she helped me and all of you helped. And you know what? We raised so much money and thank you. And because of you, single mothers are not going to be homeless. And it's like, how about you start with that and be grateful and not sit here and behave like this woman needed you. The same way how she didn't have to go to Miserable Milo foster care event. And the same way how Miserable Milo did not come to her hair spa event. No one is forced to go anywhere. Yes, production would say, show up here, show up there. But there are certain things where people don't have to go and they don't have to do, and no one is forcing them. And that's one of those things. And this further proves my point that I was trying to make. The moments where Kenya can really just shut these people down and allow them to sit in their mess, she doesn't do it because that's not her heart and she doesn't move that way. My point right here, when Sanya called her and said, hey, can you host my event? All Kenya had to say was no, ask Sheree and Milo, click. Or just no and click. And that's it. Let her sit in it. No, ma'am, you're not using me anymore. But she's not like that. And she doesn't move like that. And that's the difference. When I kept saying click, that's basically Kenya hanging up on Sanya. Like, girl, no, I'm not doing it. Click as in hang up the phone and let her figure it out. But she's not that way, and that's the reason why she will continue to be blessed. Let's get into some of social media reaction. And even when Kenya spoke highly of her pregnancy and how she's glowing, she still didn't accept that nice gesture. She wants so much from Kenya, but gives nothing. I knew she was going to ask Kenya to be the auction host. She lied about the host being sick. She's a user. I know it's a reality show, but if she lied about Kenya reaching out to her, that's just wrong. Regardless how someone feels about you, people will show you sympathy. Exactly. Sanya is very much a pick-me. She wants to have beef with someone so badly. Like, girl, Thank you. When Sanya officially announced to the girls she is pregnant, Kenya was really happy for her. When I saw Sanya debut, I'm like, okay, she is new and kind, but Marlo took her in a bad way. I believe Sanya is lying about Kenya Moore not reaching out to her during her miscarriage. She wants an issue with Kenya. It's pathetic, and clearly she wants a problem with Kenya. I think Kenya is the fan favorite this season. Well, when you try so hard to make other people happen, so you start reaching for a storyline and lying, and then you start mistreating and being unfair to other people due to bias editing and all of that. This is what happened. Imagine doing all of that and the people you elevated and put into certain positions did not do exactly what you thought they were able to do, and now it's being called the worst season ever, and the ratings reflects that exactly. While Kenya Moore in the background here being mistreated, but yet ended up being the fan favorite and supported. When someone have that natural glow and light on them, you can't shut that down. Sanya was looking for a moment. Kenya chose not to give her one. Sanya continuously shows us that she hates Kenya because of Marlo. Agreed. I think they've gotten together to try to remove Kenya from the show. It won't get them better ratings or get them paid more. Exactly. Imagine planning and trying to set someone up, okay? I'm pregnant. I'm going to lie and say Kenya did not reach out to me. She's going to get upset. She's going to scream. She's going to come for me. And I'm going to play, oh, I'm an innocent pregnant woman. Oh my gosh, Kenya is so aggressive and was screaming at a pregnant woman, especially a pregnant woman who just went through what Sanya went through. And everyone is going to hate Kenya again. And Kenya paid the whole situation dust. And it failed miserably as Sanya ended up being the fool of the night. I was so proud of how she corrected her but stayed gentle and kind, and how she showed compassion even when Sanya takes every chance she gets to go against her. My point, that was their whole plan, okay? Miss Paperclip said that it was Kenya karma for falling. Then she went on a campaign to paint Kenya as this mean girl. So that was their whole point. During the reunion, we're going to basically confirm that she is a mean girl, and they set it up and they failed. And who's being dragged now? Paperclips being all up in Drew and Ralph's situation. All of their plans failed miserably. Right, I was really proud of Kenya too. Sanya tried to make it into more than what it was. Kenya kept it cute and classy. I don't understand these ladies always thinking that Candy and Kenya owe them a phone call or some type of attention when they are the business housewives on the show. I agree 100% that was a fake beef, and Sanya can go from the show. She is as fake as Courtney and the convict. I agree. I was disappointed in Sanya. Once Kenya explained that she did call and she didn't pick up, I felt as a friend, Sanya should have taken her for her word. Exactly. Even after Kenya said, I called, Sanya completely brushed over it and continued to attempt to make a moment. And like I said earlier, and she failed miserably. Wouldn't be surprised if Marlo was around when Kenya called and she cut it off since she was around Sanya, her bestie, so much. Oh, I definitely wouldn't put that past her. She's so low down. Facts. Sanya gets on my nerves the way she keeps trying Kenya. Sheree looked so disappointed that Sanya's criticism didn't stick. LOL, if anyone should be used to disappointment, it's Sheree. And that's on period. And that's why I keep saying, show or no show, Kenya, these people are not your friends. Stop showing or giving them grace. You can be cool. Hey, we work together. No hate, but nah, stay over there. We don't have to be friends. Stop throwing that word around so easily for these people who can't wait to stab you in the back on and off camera. Then again, she knows them personally. We don't. So hey, don't believe for a second that Kenya didn't call Sanya after the miscarriage. We've seen how she shows up for the girls, especially when it comes to pregnancies, etc. Sanya took a real moment and used it to further phoning beef, but Kenya's response was classy. I definitely think she's lying, especially since Kenya personally delivered baby gifts to Eva even when they were not feeling each other. Exactly. You all remember that video. I don't have to insert it in here. Just go to the RHOA playlist and you can see that video. Based on the rest of the tweets and comments on the screen, everyone knew it was a setup because they know Kenya is a nice person on and off camera. And people say it all the time. And this person responded to someone defending Sanya. And this person tweeted, Kenya done all that flip-flopping dumb Olympian-ish, especially with how she continues to attack her and side with that convict. He's a clown. Sanya needs to be mad at the absentee husband who pretty much told her the marriage is in jeopardy if she didn't have another baby. Kenya doesn't owe anything to Sanya, who shows every week that her loyalty is with, not Mumbo's child. All this smoke for Kenya. Did she have it for us? Exactly. She's mute when it comes to her master convict's vile actions, and Ross, who keeps disappearing on her, but piped up when it comes to Kenya. She's lucky she's pregnant. Otherwise, Kenya would have ate her up, just like she did in Jamaica. Didn't I say it? I said because Sanya is pregnant, Kenya will take it easy on her. I know, right? She got to hide behind that pregnancy, knowing she won't get so much smoke. That's why she was talking all tough on that stage. Just because Kenya didn't check in the way you thought she would doesn't make her a bad friend. Go talk to the man you lived with. Pregnancy or not, Andy Cohen would have held Kenya's feet to the fire in a very calm way. He would have said, what type of husband do you have that doesn't show up to doctor's appointment, that you went through this dramatic situation by yourself? He would have held Kenya's feet to the fire. Pregnancy or not. I saw what he did. Kenya is dating this guy. She's not in an exclusive relationship with him. That's not her husband, but yet Andy stayed on that topic, trying to prove that he wasn't around, and just a hot mess. But let us skip, over Sanya, her husband. Yes, he's been here before. I get it. But this season, he's not. And regardless of the reason why, Andy would have brought that up at the reunion if it was Kenya. When it comes to other people, the fans and supporters of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, for some reason, now they understand and know logic. Now they have common sense. Well, common sense would tell you that he have a business in a different state, and that's the reason why. Well, that same common sense and logic could be used for the man Kenya Moore is dealing with. He has more locations than Sanya and her husband. That right is the reason why he's busy and can't be around all the time. But that logic and common sense wasn't applied, and he still kept questioning Kenya and going after Kenya. When Kenya came back on this show with her soon-to-be ex-husband, everyone knew that he had a restaurant in New York, and that's where he lived, and that he was going to go back and forth, and that he had some of his clothes at Moore Manor. But even when she was vulnerable and shared that, oh, girl, you went and bought those clothes for him, he doesn't live there. Every time it comes to Kenya, people treat her differently, and all common sense leave the room, no logic, nothing. But let it be somebody else. The same people who be making every excuse for why certain things is not happening for other people will be the same people playing dumb to the reason why the same thing is happening to Kenya Moore. I'm sounding repetitive, but all I'm saying is if it was Kenya Moore, Andy Cohen was going to once again go in on her, okay? And he was actually going to be like, you know what, the fact that all of that happened is more of a reason why your husband should be here with you. No amount of business or whatever he's doing is more important than him being here by your side with you. Why is he not here? He would have gone there, pregnancy or not. So just miss me with the excuses. But anyways, more of the comments are on the screen because if I keep reading, this video will not go up today and I'm way behind. So thank you all for your patience, love, and support. I also do feel like Sanya is intimidated. She feels like if she's on that side with Kenny and Kenya, then her gold medals and her accomplishments and her light will not shine. So if I go over here where I'm the most accomplished, then maybe my light will shine when she got it all messed up, because Candy and Kenya wants everyone around them light to shine. They will uplift you. They will make suggestions for your business to be successful. They will be there for you. They want everyone around them to win. It's not, okay, I'm winning and I'm going to look down on all of you. That's not how they roll. But there are some people who are just simply intimidated, and that's just what it is. Anyways, I'm wishing all of you well and take care.
Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.